imagine walking into a courtroom, right? And you just, you address the presiding judge by their first name.
Yeah, you just wouldn't do it.
Exactly. I mean, the title, Your Honor, demands a specific kind of reverence. We are looking at the April 5th entry of the Rhapsody of Realities daily devotional by Pastor Chris. And our mission today is to explore this really fascinating linguistic and theological argument it makes, which is the shift from simply saying Jesus to saying Lord Jesus.
And, it's not just polite protocol we're talking about here.
Right.
The devotional actually argues that this shift is an involuntary reaction to absolute authority. Like, it explores how a genuine encounter fundamentally rewrites your entire vocabulary.
Okay, so let's look at how Pastor Chris actually illustrates this. He brings up Saul of Tarsus, right, on the road to Damascus.
Yeah, the classic example.
Right, where Saul is literally knocked to the ground by this blinding divine power, and he asks, "Who are you, Lord?" And the voice replies, "I am Jesus."
So the timeline of that realization is the crucial mechanism here.
How so?
Well, the moment Saul connects the supreme power that just leveled him to the ground with the name Jesus, his whole framework shifts.
Oh, I see.
Right, because you cannot recognize absolute lordship and just, continue to speak casually. The sheer weight of that realization, well, it forces the reverence.
Wait, isn't that a bit rigid, though? I mean, is the author actually implying that anyone today who just simply prays to Jesus hasn't had a genuine spiritual encounter?
I mean, it might sound harsh, but yes, that is absolutely the core thesis here.
Wow.
Yeah. Pastor Chris argues that many people claim to have seen him, but continue to address him without reverence. The argument is basically that true intimacy with the divine does not breed familiarity. It actually breeds deeper awe.
Okay, so Saul's encounter rewires his vocabulary, but the devotional pushes beyond just spoken words, right? Because it argues that true reverence is deeply physical.
Exactly. Look at the example of John the Apostle on the Isle of Patmos.
Right.
Even John, who was, arguably Jesus' closest friend on earth, he physically collapses when he sees the glorified, resurrected Christ.
Yeah, the book of Revelation states he falls at his feet as dead, right?
Yes.
But why such a violent reaction, though? I mean, he knew him.
Yeah.
They were close.
Well, that is exactly the point the text is making. It is the sheer contrast between human frailty and infinite power. I mean, John isn't making this conscious choice to bow out of respect.
And not.
No, his body is involuntarily short-circuiting in the unshielded presence of divine majesty. It's basically a complete system overload.
That is intense.
It is. But then, crucially, there is an immediate blessing of peace. The master lays his right hand on John and says, "Fear not, I am the first and the last."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the manifestation of raw power is instantly followed by profound comfort.
So if you are listening to this and wondering if your own language is maybe a bit too casual, the devotional essentially holds a mirror up to that habit.
It really goes.
Yeah, it describes this all-encompassing transformation where your worship, your words, and just your daily life reflect that visceral awe.
Because ultimately, this level of reverence is presented as the only appropriate response to recognizing him as Lord of all and Lord of heaven and earth.
Right.
So whether you are exploring this source material through a strict theological lens or just studying it as a piece of literary analysis, it is a masterclass in how establishing ultimate authority requires both specific titles and physical surrender.
It completely reframes how you look at the words you choose, honestly, which leaves you with a final thought to mull over today.
Yeah, think about this.
If adding a single word like Lord can completely redefine a cosmic relationship and the level of reverence demanded, how much do the subtle titles and labels you use for people in your own everyday life dictate the respect and authority you grant them?
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.